So what if we're interested in things from our IDPs other than user ID? Twitter, for instance, or Facebook carries a lot of information about the user, and a lot of that they're willing to share with client applications like our Azure App Portal. Now, sometimes we're going to have to actually do some special things, request some special scopes in order for Twitter or Facebook to actually pass that data back. However, once they do, our apps can make use of that data. If we want to see what data is coming back, we're often able to use the /auth/me endpoint on our Azure web app, and this will actually return all of the data that was returned from the IDP for our logged in user. That is the user which this token represents. Now, I will caution you that this doesn't always work. It doesn't work for every IDP. However, sometimes this will give you exactly the data that's coming back. When it doesn't, you can still find out what, for instance, Twitter is giving back by calling the Twitter endpoints directly from, again, a tool like Postman, for instance. But in the cases where auth.me is working for you, we can actually treat it just like any other mobile app, mobile endpoint. So here we see defining a model with the appropriate deserialization properties so that we can take the result of auth.me and put it into an object instance that we can use in our C# mobile app just like any other object instance. Here we see, for instance, calling invoke on that mobile service client, hitting that endpoint, and then grabbing the first only identity structure we're going to pull back. And if we want to do this on the server side, then with Node.js, we can use our context.user.getIdentity, which will give us a structure that we can then pull data out of. Here we're calling our JSON.stringify, getting that user info, and then from there we're able to, in this case, we're actually just dumping it all to a console log, but we could also use our user info structure to grab that username right there. And you'll notice here now we're actually filtering this based on a human readable username instead of on that numerical or GUID-based SID. On ASP.NET, we have a similar function available, our user.getAppServiceIdentityAsync. This is a generic function, so we can actually pass in this case, our Twitter credentials, which is what we want to get out of our request object or to be pulled from our request object. Then we can go through our claims and grab, in this case, once again, that UPN. So we can look at those other claims that are available from our IDP. And our sample server app has an endpoint that's taking advantage of these extra claims. It's actually just going to spit them back out at us, echo them to us when we hit that endpoint. So let's take a quick look at that. I've got Postman open once again, and this time I've just got it already loaded up. And you can see we're hitting that My Secure Personal Diary, our sample server app there. And at API/whoami, we're bouncing back any of the claims. And you can see there aren't very many when I don't send any authentication. Now, what I've got over here then is I'm actually sending a Twitter token, well, a resource token for our website that is associated with a Twitter ID token. And I'm hitting the whoami/Twitter endpoint. And so now this is going to tell us all about my Twitter information, or at least the Twitter claims that go automatically or that are being fed back to our API endpoint automatically. We can actually see these on the server side. And in this case, the server side is actually forwarding those on. So we can even see, for instance, there's the image for the Twitter profile, there's the Twitter username. So we can see all of that. And then it goes on to show the regular resource token claims as well.